Hello everyone, Editor Tom here, just to give a quick trigger warning for this episode. Since we're going to be talking about Persona 5, the game in itself has a lot of heavy topics, so in this episode we do touch upon topics such as suicide, sexual assault, and sexual harassment. So if that's something you don't want to be dealing with today, totally understandable. We'll see you on the next episode. I hope you have a lovely day. Alright, back to the podcast.
What's up, boys? How's it going?
That was fucking.
I
I
didn't see that coming.
No, you did not.
I really did not see that one coming, to be honest. That was a low bar.
Yep.
I thought about that all week.
All month.
Anyway.
Yep.
Hello! We're back yet again. April has gone and left us. Well, almost. But still.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye, April.
How was April? How's things? Let's just go. Let's just fucking go. Let's just talk.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go.
Screw the intros.
Fuck the intros. Yeah, you know who we are by now.
Yeah, you should have. If you haven't, watch the other fucking episodes.
Exactly.
It's episode 4.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Catch up.
I guess, as the editor, I'll put people's names for a second.
Yep.
Here, boom.
Thank you.
Here are names.
This is me.
Put it for like 1 millisecond.
Yeah, you
You
have to
spam
really
pause the video to get to it.
yeah, okay. Well, my month, I'm I guess happy to say I still have the same job.
Yay!
Oh my god, he did it.
But I've got
however,
a new job.
You got a new job?
Yes. I
Yeah,
do.
let's go.
We switched
There's
roles.
And I'm
always
in
just
exactly the same place as I was for the past previous 4 episodes.
Fair enough.
unemployed.
Anyway.
Unemployed.
Well, carry on, Tom.
Yeah, I'm still in the same job. However, today, as we were recording, I did do a phone interview for a different job.
Oh
You know,
my
like
God.
the job I'm on.
Let's
So
hope by the next episode he's like, guys, new job.
new job. Hopefully, if things go well. But yeah, this month was actually quite wild in terms of like content consuming that I did. And we
Agreed.
there's one thing that we all shared together. Apart from obviously the game we played this month.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
April 1st. This April 1st was probably one of the fucking craziest of my life.
Right.
Tal, I'm gonna throw this at you. 'Cause I know you have big thoughts about this.
Yeah.
The Minecraft April Fool's thing.
Oh, the update.
Yeah, the update. Yeah.
Right, look.
The potato thing.
Look, rant started, alright? I know we wanted to keep this intro short, but man, look. So if you're not aware, for April Fool's, Minecraft dropped I think it's called the Poisonous Potato Update for April
something
Fool's.
like that. Yeah.
In which, for some unfucking known reason, this is just a typical fucking Mojang thing at this point, they make an entire update for April Fool's. And it's just like a joke update that it adds stupid shit, right? Some of the shit in that update was actually kind of cool. And some of it, the community are speculating is stuff to be rumoured to be like in the game at some point or in the works. But it's crazy to me that hurts the most is that they've definitely spent budget and time in the employees' working hours to make that, because it's fully textured mobs, environments, it's a whole dimension.
Completely new mechanics as well.
New mechanics, yeah. There was things that made blocks like float. Like if you guys are familiar with the create mod, it was literally just that. All that shit was added, and it hurts my soul a bit every April Fool's, because I'm like, all of this could have been directed towards an actual Minecraft update instead of just dropping all this random shit and being like, yo, April Fool's anyway. Oh, that update we're working on? Oh yeah, we should probably get back to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I mean, but
Yeah.
like the amount of stuff that was added is a bit like, wow. And is it gone now, or can you like?
I think you can still access all the versions.
I think you can go back to every single version of Minecraft ever. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's ever, but
No. Oh.
I think release 1 is where you can
Right.
start playing from.
Yeah, because I was just thinking like they did all that work and it's just like gone in like a few a week or so
Yeah.
or whatever.
But
Yeah.
like, to be fair, who's gonna go back to it?
True.
You know,
mean,
you just
people
want to
who
play
really
the
enjoy it.
newest thing.
That's the thing I saw the other day. Like I saw a video my YouTube recommended of someone being like, "Oh, showing my update name base before people like lose interest, while people care." And like they just did a full overview. This guy made a working floating space station in the end.
Wow.
Sick.
Like the things capable to be done in that update are crazy, and I'm just like, Mojang, just add this shit to your game, man.
Yeah. That's just the thing that happened this month.
Yeah, rant over.
Well, speaking of Minecraft, actually,
Oh, right.
have you seen the title for the new Minecraft update? It just came out 4 hours ago. I just looked.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I didn't.
tricky trials.
Yes.
Is that it?
So it's going to be like the chamber things, right?
The trial chamber update.
Oh.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Me and the boys in our 2-week Minecraft phase coming back.
Yep.
We're so back.
So back, baby.
No release date though.
No release date yet. I think
Sad.
it'll still be. If they release the name of the update, I need to look from like the previous one, but I think it means it's on the back end of its development.
Right.
But I think we'll be seeing it very soon,
Sick.
and I am hyped for that.
And this. In case you guys don't know, Tyler, he's an employee at Mojang, so he has the insider knowledge.
Not
Yeah,
true.
man, that's
False
me.
information.
Minecraft employee. Forget what I said earlier about being unemployed.
yeah. Freelancer.
Yeah, freelancer. You know, I actually made the April Fool's update. Fuck you.
Yeah. He's actually Mojang, middle name.
I
Mojang.
actually, my name is Notch, actually.
Yeah.
I fucking made this shit with my bare hands.
Tyler Notch Mojang.
That's my full name.
Yep. But Harley, how was the month for you as well?
For me, I mean,
Yeah.
the back tail of it currently at the moment has been pretty busy for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Currently working on a show.
Ooh.
Rehearsals have started. I don't want to give too much details because I obviously don't want to dox or whatever where I'm doing it at the moment. But it's
Fair,
going
fair.
well. It's going good. It's I haven't done like a consistent thing for a while, apart from like going to lessons like in uni like a year ago, right?
And I guess work every night and again. Yeah, but
I
that's-
guess yeah, but yeah. But work is more occasional. But like this was like every day, waking up, having a
Mhm.
routine, and it was getting back to that, and it felt good.
Yeah.
It feels good going
miss that.
outside and doing something, and feel like you've accomplished something, and going home feeling fucking tired, and actually go to bed like instantly
Mhm.
when you go like lay down in the pillow and just snore your head off. It's
Yeah.
a great feeling. I like
Mhm.
it. Waking up still sucks. I hate waking up.
Nothing feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like feeling like you deserve the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then waking up going, fuck, I need more. But then having to get up and fucking get on with the next day. But yeah, rehearsals have been going well. It's been fun going back acting again. It's cool.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's fun. But yeah, and then next week I'll start my new job, which will be also fun.
Ooh.
So yeah, things are like life-wise are like starting, I guess. And
Yeah.
I have to be an actual adult properly now, officially.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's book?
How book? Oh yeah, so I started at the Creative Gene, the Hideo Kojima book that I said last time, right? And I started it, and the intro was good, and then it's not really what I thought it was. I thought it was more of like more autobiography style, like Hideo Kojima's like life and stuff, or his inspirations. Instead, it's just like a collection of clippings from like a website or magazine of things he liked and influenced him. So it's more of a thing of flick to random page. Oh, this is X thing. Blah blah blah. Talks about it for a page or so, and it's just the next. So it wasn't really intriguing to me. Like I don't feel like it's not a book for me to just sit and just read the whole thing. It's like it's a bit
Something to go back to.
Yeah. So I kind of like stopped it, which was funny because the first like intro, like they talk about like how he reads a lot of books, and it's okay to if you're not into a book or whatever, just like dropping it instead and finding like the the good like one that grabs you the most.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because I picked up the book, read it, and I was like, "No, it's not for me,"
Nah,
which is
never
kind
mind.
of funny.
They gave you some advice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were
It's
warning you.
yeah,
That's what they were doing.
Exactly. I mean, they are clever, man. So yeah.
But I guess that goes for other stuff. I guess
Yeah.
like book, obviously books, like TV series,
Yeah.
games,
Games.
albums. Yeah.
Though I was trying to find a new thing to read,
Yeah.
and I'm waiting to be given a book that the play that I'm in is based upon, so I can read that and
Right.
get more info on that. So that'll be interesting.
Doing.
I've been getting through things. I have a huge backlog of things to watch.
Right.
Have
Mhm.
you been getting through things?
I've got through a few things. Okay. All right, Bucko. Listen in.
Name 5 things.
5 things. Okay. First thing I finished watching a bit was what's it called? The Movies That Made Us. I wanted to watch that for a while because I was intrigued, right?
Right.
Because of like learning how movies are made and shit and all the cool little stories. And it's funny how
Yeah.
a lot of big films like were just come from the ground of nothing, and like a lot of producers and shit like had no faith in it, or you know, those kind of stories of it.
Yeah.
Like it was like barely made it onto the screen, so it was barely completed, which is it's like an eye opener, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that an example of a film? talked about?
I mean, a fun fact for like Ghostbusters, it wasn't. Well, the title was going to be Ghostbusters, right? But they couldn't get the rights for the name Ghostbusters because there's already a thing called Ghostbusters, which is like an old TV show or whatever, or cartoon, I can't remember.
Right.
Called Ghostbusters, so they couldn't get the rights. So they were trying to get the rights whilst filming. So when they were filming, they had to record scenes twice. So there's like a scene at the end of Ghostbusters, if you've seen, where they all like shout Ghostbusters, 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 and then they film the scene and they reset it, and then they film it with another name. It was like, I think it was like one of the working titles was like Ghost Breakers or something. It's so, I know, it's amazing like what they were actually going to maybe call this film if they couldn't call it Ghostbusters. And
Ghost Breakers is such an ass name. I'm just gonna
Ghost
throw that out there.
fuckers.
The Ghost Fuckers.
And then there are other names, but I can't remember them. But then, like, I saw footage of them recording the advert. You know, do you hear strange noises in the night? Blah 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 blah. Cool, Ghostbusters. Okay, now it's Ghost Breakers. Everyone, what is it? Ghost Breakers. Okay, blah blah blah.
Right.
And then do it again. And then there's just a moment where they kind of like stopped because it was like, you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna call it Ghostbusters. And then, like, kind of like wait to see if they could do it, but like they stopped recording scenes twice because obviously you feel that would bring more of the budget and time and stuff, and it would just be like so they just stopped. They just carried on with Ghostbusters, and then luckily they managed to get the title in time, and and the song was made and everything, so and I guess another honorable mention is like the film Halloween. That was made on like a small ass budget of an idea that kind of
Wasn't it a student film?
no, it wasn't student film. It was just a small production company. I can't remember. But yeah, it was like built from the ground up, and it became this phenomenon. And I think I never realized actually it's like a horror movie that doesn't use graphic effects like blood. There's no blood in the movie at all.
No, there isn't.
Which is I was like, oh wow. And it's kind of not the first like slasher films, because the ones before that, it's the one to put it on the market, and then after that Friday 13th came out, and then so on, kind of copying this slasher style, because Friday 13th was just like, let's just make Halloween but with gore. That was literally like, let's just rip off Halloween. So there you go.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's like Aliens on there, Home Alone, loads of things on there. It's good. It's a good watch.
It's like the classics.
Yeah. And then,
Holly.
Yes.
You have a new bit for these podcasts.
What's that?
Not only do you have the book, but from now on, just grab a fun fact of a film.
Fun fact of a film. God.
Yeah. Since you have. Yeah.
You're really giving him lots of tasks, huh?
Lots of tasks.
Yeah.
Why?
Fuck you.
Giving him homework. Should we start giving Tom homework?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Well, I'll figure something out. I have homework
Yeah.
for. I have an idea for homework.
Tom, I've got you some homework. Get a new job.
Get a new job. Hey, I got you, man. I got
Yeah,
you.
all right. We'll
And then
see, but we'll check in by next episode.
The last thing I want to talk about is Fallout, the show, because that's the
Right.
main big thing I've watched this month and I've really enjoyed. I've
Yeah.
rarely watched a show when it's come out. I'm always, as you guys know, fucking take forever to watch it.
Yeah.
Wait for it all to come out, or like wait
Yeah.
a fucking year or a few months after it comes out.
Yeah,
then
a
watch
few
it.
years. Yeah.
So yeah, it came out and I was at my partner's. I was like, you know what? She's doing something else. I'm gonna watch the telly. I'm gonna put this on episode 1. Let's go. Commit.
Yeah.
And it was great. I enjoyed it all.
See, that's what happens when you choose to watch a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of anime, right? Especially One Piece. One Piece has taken up my time for the past year.
This guy said the highlight of his month was Fallout. He didn't even mention One Piece.
Hey.
Absolute shame
But
on you.
I think I enjoyed what I watched, One Piece, what came out, but like it was nice to have a breath of fresh air, I guess, because as I said, I consumed One Piece or binged it for like the whole year or a year and a half now, you know.
Yeah, which isn't wise.
But
You probably should have taken those, because you did take breaks.
I did take breaks, yeah.
But you take the breaks to not really watch anything.
Yeah,
else.
because I didn't feel like I wanted to watch anything.
Yeah, so the
But-
problem was is that you weren't refreshed when you
Yeah.
would go back into it.
But then
But maybe now that you've start watching shows now.
Well,
Like, you're behind on so much, it's
am.
actually crazy.
I am. But yeah,
It's like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, I remember we have conversations like, you watched this, right? And you're like, no. And I'm like, well, that's that conversation out the window. Like,
Yeah. And you start watching the season 2 of Invincible as well, right?
straight after I was on the roll.
Yeah, Tal and I, we've watched that. Yeah, it's pretty good.
yeah.
But speaking,
Very
I
good.
just want to bring up because of the Fallout. I know you guys haven't seen it, and I do recommend watching it. But it's really good. I enjoyed it. I don't know much about Fallout. I don't know a lot about the
Neither.
lore.
Yeah,
I just know it's
that's my question.
post-apocalyptic stuff. Yeah.
Like, would you... I guess you kind of already answered my question,
Yeah.
but, like, do you think Fallout, the show, is good because of the show or good because it's a good adaptation of Fallout?
I think it's a good show in general.
Like, are a lot of people... Because I've heard a lot of, like, people praising it.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, are they praising it because it's a, like, good adaptation of Fallout, or everyone just... It's just a good story. Like, it's just a good...
It's both. I
show.
think. I think it's very. I mean, again, I don't know a lot, but I know basic stuff. There may be like nitpickies
Yeah.
or anything where they slightly change something, whatever, and then the OG fans go, "You can't change it. It doesn't make sense in the timeline." Even though people can understand that maybe this can be just set in its own universe. Do you know what I mean? And I think people do fail to understand that sometimes with the adaptations and stuff. Or whatever, you know, and just like watching it and looking at the perspective of this is just set in its own little pocket, you know. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's all
that's
that needs
the
to be.
easiest way to
Yeah.
see adaptations. It's not to connect them too closely to the original. Because I try to view, when I'm watching adaptations, like we watched Avatar,
Yeah,
One
I was
Piece.
thinking about that. Yeah.
Those like the most recent ones. I try my best to view it with just a mind separated from the source material.
I mean,
Just
obviously
because-
it's difficult to do that with the Avatar.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because I feel like with Fallout, it's a completely new story. It's not. I don't think or believe it's based on a game storyline, so it's new. But the thing with Avatar,
Yeah,
it's already a
It's
storyline
based
that's
on-
been
it's
made.
adapting
It's
a
adapted
story
that
arc,
story
yeah.
arc. So you will be like, that didn't happen in the, you know. But
yeah. I guess that is true. I guess that's what maybe makes Fallout so
yeah,
good.
I mean, obviously there's like lore
Because they're not
things
viewing
that
it.
happen in that world and like are mentioned, but like story wise with the
Yeah.
characters, they are all new, and their journey is
Yeah.
new, and it's not,
That is a good point, because it could be a factor of like, maybe if adaptations, like Fallout is taking the world of Fallout and it's making its own story with it. And then we've got things like Borderlands, that's in the works. But that Borderlands is taking the characters from Borderlands
yeah,
and trying to adapt them. I don't know how well that's going to go.
And making a new story, I don't know if it is based on the first game. I don't even know.
I don't know.
But my thing with the adaptation of Avatar and it being not probably that good in comparison to, for example, Fallout. Fallout might be a different story, but even because like Avatar, it has a great story. The problem with the adaptation, it was just written poorly. It was poorly adapted.
I mean, it's another thing I'm yet to watch, but I don't know. I don't feel like motivated to watch, to be honest. But
it's like I just watched it because I'm a big fan, and I just want to see like what they did. I was excited to see all that stuff, but they like because the creators left the project, like they really misunderstood a lot of core things from characters and how to show what the characters are without telling us. There's literally I'll spoil it a little bit. There's literally a scene where Aang just goes like, this is in the first episode, so that's why I'm okay with spoiling it. He just goes, I'm a goofball. I like to do silly things. Or it's like paraphrasing here. It's like I'm just a silly guy. I don't want to be the Avatar. It's just like, why are you telling me that you're a silly goofball and not showing me that? Where
it's like, I just want to goof off with my friends. I don't want to be the Avatar that looks at camera.
If you remember the first line that Aang says in the show, he like this motherfucker like defrosts from the iceberg or whatever the fuck, and he looks at Katara and goes, "You wanna go penguin sliding with me?" That's the first line he says.
Yeah.
In the whole show. That's crazy. And that line shows everything. Like how silly this guy is. Yeah, I will definitely check out Fallout by next month.
I recommend
I will have watched it.
I just feel like also game adaptation stuff are, I think they're finally getting some decent film adaptations and shows adaptations of games.
I think we're starting to see some better ones.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot at the moment, because here's the problem at the moment is that we're getting them and then studios are being like, oh, people like this, I guess we'll do it again, but then they miss the point as to why people enjoy them so much.
Yeah, there's a lot that missed the mark, like Uncharted, for example, really missed the mark. It's because it's tough to, because the great things about video games is the interactability, and adapting that to a show can be quite hard. Persona 5 has been adapted into an anime. So yeah, this month's game.
You're really close.
I was really close. This month's game is Persona 5 Royal, specifically. That's the game we're going to be talking about. I'll give the listeners a little bit of context of what Persona 5 Royal is about. Persona 5 Royal is I suppose, remastered / remade game of the original Persona 5. It just adds new characters and abilities and things to the game. But Persona 5, in its core, it's a slice of life game where you play as a student that you name yourself, and you play day by day the real world, but you're a phantom thief in what they call the metaverse, I believe is what it's called. You gather friends as these teenagers to overcome the corrupt adults of real life by going to this metaverse, and you just make them change their hearts and their minds and get rid of their corruption, and it's like a turn-based fighting game. It's very hard to describe this game.
Sort of, you're playing a slice of life genre.
Yeah.
As a game, with the mix of this whole other side of like turn-based combat and there's sort of some other stuff as well. Like it's quite
there's a lot
of things like puzzles. Sort of is a big part. But yeah, it's a very interesting game.
It's a JRPG.
There's a lot
by
to
the
it.
way. The category.
JRPG. Yes, JRPG. Yes, thank you. I wanted to start up. I just want you guys to say like what's your experience with Persona. I'll start. I'll say that I played the original Persona 5. I've completed that game back in 2020, and now I've played around 50 hours of Persona 5 Royal, and I ended up, for people who have played Persona, because you played day by day, I finished on the 18th of June. 18th of June. That's when I finished up. What about you boys?
Harley, do you want to go?
Me? Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So I finished on the 24th of May. Tuesday, the 24th of May, evening, to be more specific.
Ooh, and this is your first contact with Persona 5?
Yes, never touched it. Don't know anything about it. First experience. So, yeah.
What about yourself, Tal?
For me, I haven't really played Persona before. I'm quite new to it. I haven't really heard much about it. I heard the reviews. I heard people speaking very highly of it. There's a lot of people that play it and come out of it saying, "Oh, it's one of my favorite games," and I'm like, "Damn, crazy." But I finished playing around like 60 hours in. I had like 60 hours of playtime, and I believe I finished off the 12th of September.
Yo, big jump. So you played the most out of everyone?
Yes.
I'll start with you, Tal.
Okay, my initial thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. I listed a few things here. I guess I'll also preface, because I forgot to mention. But guys, I was, in the second episode, I was sick. We're back again, I'm sick again. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do about it. Don't blame me if I start, like, breathing into the microphone. I'm trying my best, guys. But, obviously, when I'm going on long talks, maybe you might hear a few sniffles here and there. But I will try my best to, like, keep that to a minimum. So I'm suffering for the sake of you guys. So
hey, send them some love, guys. Yeah, send some love.
But anyway, my initial thoughts, right? I summed it up in a few words. I said, like, Persona 5 Royal is the game that keeps on giving. Right? That's my initial thought. And I'll explain a little bit, because obviously that's a big statement, I think.
Yeah.
But the game that keeps on giving, I said that mainly because when I'm playing this game, just more and more stuff, like, and more things unlock, more things you can do unlock, more places unlock, more, like, characters unlock. There's so much stuff that, like, of content that is just injected into this game. It just keeps giving. And I think as you play the game, it only gets better. Like, from my experience so far, I've only found myself enjoying the game more the more I've played it. Because I started off skeptical, and I wasn't really, like, couldn't find my groove when I first started playing. But, like, I'd say, like, after I got past the first major bit of the game, like, it sort of clicked with me a little bit, and I began to slowly enjoy it a lot more. And I think it's a common theme. I think we might talk about that briefly later, but, like, it was just a thing of I would just get more locked in, I guess, like, into this world, and more. There's so much that the game gives you that I just couldn't help but find something that I could eventually enjoy, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's something for everyone, in a sense that there is so much little aspects to this game, especially not even combat, but just, like, in the daily life aspect.
Yeah.
Like, there's little mini games you can play. Like, there's literally just stuff everywhere. But that was, like, my main thing. I guess the other thing, goated soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think this game's soundtrack is so good. And I fucking love it. I said this game makes you feel badass, and I think that's correct. When you're doing things and certain moves, this game wants you to be as cool as possible and as fly as possible. And I think the game certainly achieves you definitely feeling like some badass thief when you go and try and steal the palace's treasure. And, like, in combat, there's a lot of moves that just, like, are really flashy and, like, just wants you... Literally, the game is just trying to make you feel like the most badass person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it definitely succeeds in a lot of areas. And I also just really enjoyed the integration of, like, animated cutscenes. when
Yeah.
they were given to us, because I fucking love them. They're so good, and definitely inspires me to probably watch the show at some point, because I feel like it's just going to be that, but better. So I'm definitely excited for that. Yeah, that's
Great.
my initial thoughts.
Right. I for myself, Persona 5 is one of those things where I've said it many times here on the podcast. I'm not very much an anime guy, and Tyler has described Persona 5 as the anime game. So
I have.
and I was the person who suggested this game.
Yes.
So it's weird that I feel like it's weird that I did suggest the game. But back in 2020 during quarantine, playing the original Persona 5, I just really enjoyed a lot of it, and I do subscribe to the idea they gave title of the game that keeps on giving, because it can be seen as both a positive and a negative thing of like when you think it's like, oh, it's done, okay, I've unlocked every single ability and every possible tutorial bit done. You get hit with a bunch, because like I'm 50 hours in, you're 60 hours in, I'm still being hit with tutorial stuff. Not as consistent as in the first like 5-10 hours, but still quite it still happens, and it can get quite overwhelming. But I really enjoy, after you get past that, I really enjoy, my favorite thing is bonding with people, and the mechanic of having confidants and growing relationships with people and getting to know each character and what they're about, except for Morgana. It's really it's really cool. And the two lives situation of being a regular person and a phantom thief, it is the thing of like, you do feel badass as a phantom thief. I just really fell in love with the story. After playing at least the original one, and even though I haven't finished this one, I'm enjoying everything that it adds to the original. What about yourself, Harley?
Here we go.
No. Guys, I fell into the same rhythm that I did with Hades.
Right.
Look, I gave it a go. But I think these types of games, they haven't grown on me yet. I'm not a huge turn-based kind of guy. Which is funny to say, because I really love Baldur's Gate, but that's different.
Baldur's Gate, I was going to say, yeah.
But Baldur's Gate is different in some ways. But we're not here to talk about Baldur's Gate. The thing, I feel like I'm trying to understand my liking to games and stuff. It needs to have a good story. Hold your horses, calm down. And it needs to have a gameplay that I enjoy and appeal to, right?
Yeah.
I've never been a turn-based person. This game, I don't want to compare it to, like, kind of to. It's like Pokemon. I've never understood the liking of Pokemon. Don't come at me, guys. Yeah. It's never appealed to me.
We might get some people in the comments.
I know. It's
what's that at the distance? Is that pitchforks and torches? Oh, no.
Well, we're done. I don't know. It just hasn't appealed. Like collecting these different things, these personas, cough stands.
Right. Yeah.
And then like you use them to help you fight, and you fight all the fucking time, and it gets very repetitive.
Yeah. Right.
And it feels Also, I don't know if we prefaced enough that this game is fucking long. It is one of the longest games, I think, at the moment existing, right? It's long. So when we were talking about the tutorial stuff and the game getting going, it took a while to get going, from my experience. And I'm not a huge, also, slice of life storyline kind of guy. So it's all a bit red flags for me here.
Right.
But not giving up and getting on with it, because I didn't want to drop it. And the reason, because what I stated earlier, is the thing that did keep me going was the story. And that intrigued me and kept me going as much as I did.
Yeah.
But I think it's a shame because obviously if I enjoyed the gameplay and the game, then I would have played so much more and enjoyed it more. But for me, it just hindered me from enjoying the game and wanting to continue. But I'm also intrigued about the story. So there's kind of like I hit a wall and I didn't know
Right.
where to go. So I did the 2, what's it called? Palaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the time was running out, and because obviously we needed to record this. I hit the deadline. So yeah, that was as much as I went to. I finished like the quote unquote tutorial palace, and then did the next one onto that.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I don't know, I wasn't done. I was ashamed to be like wanting to it's done, it's over, I don't have to touch this game anymore, right? Because I still want to know more about the story.
Yeah.
So that drives me to watch the anime, and I might do.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I will carry on the game and the gameplay to consume the story, because I think there's lots of hiccups, but things that other people I enjoy, like the bonding stuff and the slice of life stuff where you go to school every day and you study and you just fucking swing a bat to the bat place and have a shower and a bath. That's great. I don't think personally that's riveting gameplay for me. I think it's quite boring. I do feel sometimes it does take a while for things to happen, but then I understand the reasons for you to increase your stats throughout life and talk to people and live your life, and people like that. I'm just not a huge fan of it in the context of this, because I felt like it was too much. That's what I thought. But yeah, I have a mixed relationship with this game. That's my main thing. So yeah.
I will say, to support you on that, I'm sorry if I keep on going to the original one, but when I play the original one, when doing the first palace, I didn't complete it at first. I took like a 3-month break. I was like, oh my god, I keep on being given tutorials. I'm reading so much, so much reading, and so many tutorials, so many abilities, so many, really overwhelmed me. So I took a 3-month break, and then quarantine hit, and I was like, well, I got this game to play. I guess I'll give it a go. And for anyone listening who might have a bit of an interest on playing Persona 5, the first palace is going to be very, very difficult to get through. Give yourself at least to finishing the second palace, because the second palace is quite enjoyable, in my opinion, quite enjoyable to play through. And after that, it just becomes a lot easier.
It did feel a lot quicker, the second one. But the thing I will give the first one for is I didn't like the boss, the enemy. I don't mean not liking them and they're stupid. It's like I hated him. He was a horrible man. You know what I mean?
They gave you the motivation.
It gave me the motivation and made me more motivated to complete that castle because of the storyline. I didn't have that so much with the second one, however.
I get you. Because I think the first one kind of influences the main 3 that you play as.
Yeah, and obviously the circumstances that happened, and I mean, we can talk about it. I don't know what to say. Spoiler warning, trigger
Sure,
warning?
Spoiler warning, yeah.
The thing that kind of turned around the game for me, all right, and gave me more interest was the dark subject of so basically the main boss of the first palace is this PE teacher, and he's abusive to the students, and he also sexually harasses them, but he gets away with it because of reasons I wasn't really sure how. It's just because adults are fucking assholes and just choose to ignore it because he makes the school team look good or some bollocks.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know how Japanese culture is with sports and stuff, but in my point of view, it's a very Americanized version of like, the baseball team is very important, or the basketball team is very important for the school or whatever. But in this case, it was a volleyball team.
Yeah. So this is happening, and I mean that's sort of big like yikers, you know, that's fuel for the fire, you know. And then there's a certain character, I don't know what their names are, but they were one of the targets, and then they couldn't handle it, and there was a scene where everyone's in class, and then there's a scream, and then the people go outside and see that girl try and jump off the building.
Yeah.
And unalive herself. Luckily she didn't. She just injured herself, but it was the shock of that scene that turned this game around for me. Because it was something it came out of left field. I didn't expect a scene like that to happen in this game. I didn't expect it to go that dark. I was like, oh, fucking hell. But then obviously when that happened to that character, I felt motivated to fuck up that guy, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the first part is long because it's setting out the stones of the characters and stuff, but I still feel the storyline is good. I do prefer it to the second one. I do feel maybe because I don't want to say like I rushed the second one, but I felt like it went over like when I blinked. I think.
Right.
I think I got through it very quickly, and there wasn't a lot driving me to be like, oh, I hate the second guy as much as the first one.
Yeah. What do you mean you prefer the first one? The second one introduces Daddy Mercer's character.
He does. Fair. Personally, again, I've only just met this character, and obviously they had a little arc. I wasn't very invested in them. I kind of do like the main trio. I'm not gonna lie. Well, do I say main trio? Because I guess.
There's 4 of them, but fuck Morgana.
Yeah.
Not important.
Everyone hates Morgana.
I don't understand why. Because I kind of like them.
Oh man.
Here's the thing.
Have I opened a can of worms?
You start the game, and you're like, okay, Morgana, he's okay. He's not that bad. Things continue, and you're like, okay, you're kind of weird, bro. Weird, buddy.
Right.
He makes a lot of comments that are just like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like, I do think it is important to mention that like this game does. I think you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. In very anime fashion, sexualize women a lot, especially, and these are teenage girls and stuff. So that is a thing. What I will give this game is, I don't think this is just quite rare in media in general. I think, I do think the female characters are written quite well. Backstories are great. Like, for example, with On, the first, or like the first female party member, I believe she's foreign to the country, and she's blonde, and they didn't lean on the dumb blonde lady. They actually gave it like a quite strong personality with like motivations and actual goals. Like it's not just a two dimensional character, but there's a lot more female characters are written quite well. But I thought that one specifically is the one that gets sexualized the most. And I really appreciate that that's not all she is.
I mean, I would like to say, like, the game in general has surprisingly done a good job with handling like very difficult subjects and difficult topics, like we mentioned earlier with that whole scene. Like, I think Persona 5, what I saw when I was playing it, as I did really enjoy that the game was realistic and it wasn't being too fantastical about the real life elements in regards to, you mentioned earlier, sexualizing women, right? There is a lot of moments in this game where you go out with your friends and you get separated and you literally can see them getting hit on by all the guys in the street, and it's like this is a whole segment, and that, you know, there are segments dedicated to this, because I like the fact the game doesn't turn a blind eye to that stuff, because the whole purpose of the game is to show the grim reality of, like, I guess, like twisted adults and like, you know, stuff like that. But like, for example, like you go on fucking holiday or whatever, or you go out to the beach and there are male characters making comments about the women, like just random NPCs and stuff. And like it shows they give a chance for the characters themselves to explore that and talk about that, and I think that's really nice because it helps kind of get the message out and kind of it does a really good job of handling those sort of topics, because it is a real thing and it is a real problem, and I am glad that they don't turn a blind eye to it and they do mention it, and it becomes, obviously, you know, a topic for the first palace. It's quite a major one, with like this main bad guy of this arc, this Kanashiro. He's very
Kamoshida.
You know, Kamoshida. Which one's Kanashiro? Kanashiro is the third one. My bad. Kamoshida is just very, you know, he, like you said, hate him a lot. He's a right arsehole. And I think I would like to play devil's advocate as well, because not in results of Kamoshida, but like
go on. Kamoshida, go
on. When you were talking about earlier in the second palace that you didn't felt that sort of spark of, like, I guess, hatred. I would say personally, I felt quite a spark when I was in the second palace, because obviously I won't touch into too many of the stuff, but I guess this is like the One Piece fan / side coming out, but I think it does make a good job of like making you hate these characters, like making you hate these bosses of the palace. Some obviously more than others, but I did think with the second one, I think is it Madarame? Yeah, with Madarame, I found myself being like, "You right, bastard." I don't know if that was also because, you know, I'm also quite. This sounds very pretentious, but I do enjoy art.
Yeah,
you are an artist.
Yeah, and I am an artist. So like to see, for example, there are themes of him taking in students and abusing them and using them for his own personal gain. And that really resonated with me, and I'm like, okay, fuck this guy. And also just what he does to, you know, my guy Yusuke. Like,
I mean, this guy, like, again, spoils and stuff. Like, this man killed one of the party members' mother to basically steal the game's equivalent of what I'm guessing is Mona Lisa. You know what I mean? Like, it's
pretty much.
Like
in terms
Japanese
of importance, Mona Lisa.
Yeah, like the importance of that painting, and I also I do feel disdain for every single like villain. Obviously, that's what they're for.
Yeah,
but there is something about Kamoshida that's just like I don't know if it's because it's the first one, but
I think, you know, we're talking about the second one. When the reveal of he killed the character's mother, right? That happens just at the end, just before the boss. Yeah. And I feel like it's very like quick, and it's just like you said. If that was revealed a little bit earlier in the middle, then I think it would have the same like spark as the first one did with the scene that we've talked about before. I think in a similar way. Yeah. Right.
Because we learn a lot more about Kamoshida before we go.
Yeah, and we see and get hints, and we kind of see what's happening. With the other guy, we enter his home. We see him in a gallery, and he talks to people, and that's it. We don't really see or get more hints of how he is until you see his alternative self, you know?
Yeah.
I think they also wanted to make the characters quite distinct. Because like with Kamoshida, you see him being a dick, like just in real life. But with Madarame, he was just a gentle older man. Like from like the public perspective.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
outside kind of thing. And
Yeah,
on the
so
inside.
yeah, it was.
I think
like
if we saw more of the inside, like little slips or something,
nasty
then
bit, yeah.
then like a
Yeah.
little bit, then I think it would have been more impactful, and then the reveal
Yeah.
happened and stuff like that. But then,
But I do think it is worth mentioning because I think the tutorial is like with Kamoshida. I think that one is probably like one of the most well done in regards to like hating him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think that is the case because the thing with Kamoshida, which is different to Madarame, is that when you first see Kamoshida, I guess this was for me. I don't know if it was for everyone else, but when you literally first see him, I knew there was like you can kind of immediately be like, all right, this guy's a bit messed up. Like, for example, he is seen picking up the character on immediately, and then you kind of see that. And the way he talks to Arn, and you're like, that's dodgy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
And you can kind of see characters are clearly uncomfortable about it. And like, yeah, I think the Kamoshida arc was I really enjoyed that one. And I think it was really good because it did, like I was talking about earlier with the difficult topics, it did bring up to light how a lot of this can happen. Like with the, mental abuse and the manipulation. Like Arn couldn't speak to anyone. She couldn't reach out for help.
Yeah.
And I think it's those harsh realities that the game tries to speak up a lot about. And I can commemorate the game for that. I think that's really brave. And I do find that to be one of the bits that makes me enjoy the game a lot more, is that it's not afraid to go there.
I wonder if they made Kamoshida so appealing as a villain, or not. Sorry, not appealing. More distasteful, or making you want to obviously fuck him up, because the first palace is so tough to go through, and that's like that is like the only motivation of like, okay, this guy needs to get fucked up, just like what happened to Harley.
And you see a lot more of Kamoshida because there's a lot more of tutorial, because it's such a long palace. You see a lot more of the elements of him being an arsehole.
Yeah. But I guess since we're in the topic of palaces, I mean, I guess we know, Harley, your favorite palace. I'm guessing it's the first one.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, out of the two.
Yeah.
Tal, how many palaces did you do?
I've completed 4, I believe.
Completed 4. What's your favorite one?
I really liked. I think I really liked Madarame's one. I think out of the 4, I think it depends. In regards to the layout, Madarame's was my favorite.
Yeah.
But in regards to the story, the 4th one is my favorite.
Yeah.
But obviously, I won't talk too much about that one. But
I mean, we've only talked the bare surface of this game.
Yes, we've only touched upon the mere specks of sand.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
this game is so big.
I think it's good we do discuss a little bit about the 2 palaces at the beginning, I guess, so we don't spoil the rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially because there's so much content in this game.
There's so much. Yeah, absolutely.
I've only done 3 myself. With this game, obviously.
Do you know how many there are in the game total?
I forget. And I don't know if Royal has added more, but I think there's like around 8 or 9.
Okay.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So just to put in perspective, 8 or 9. Tyler has done 4. He's done 60 hours. And he's like halfway through the game. About halfway through the game.
Yeah. And the game's general runtime, for those wondering, is like, to complete the main story, did a bit of research, it's 101 hours.
Yeah.
So like I am halfway, pretty much.
Yeah. But anyway, if I had to rank those 3 really quickly, I do think Madarame is on top in terms of like gameplay and the things that it introduces. And then Kamoshida would be the second one, just because of how much I was intrigued in the story. But the story really messed me up. And then the third one I know from playing the rest of the games, I think is my least favorite one. It's like, I felt like the story was quite boring.
Maybe
for that one.
Maybe it's good I stopped for the second one then, if you, because then I probably would have just given up.
Like, it introduces or like not introduces, but like it makes you connect with best character. But I won't say who.
Okay.
I won't say who for reasons.
Okay.
but like the story itself and the way they're connected to the palace,
Right.
because like for example with the second palace, how Yusuke is connected to Madarame. Like with
Yeah.
most palaces, it's like someone is connected to another person, and that's why they want to go to that palace, for example.
Yeah.
It's not always like that, but
I mean, that's good in a sense.
It's usually so she was introduced, and it was a bit iffy the way it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like the weakest connection so far I've experienced.
I also want to touch upon so the way we keep on talking about palaces, and palaces, the game will explain to you 100 fucking times, is someone's distorted reality of themselves and the world around them.
It's like a mini dungeon.
Mini dungeon. Like Kamshida was a castle because he thought the school was his castle and it was the king of the school. Madarame was a museum. No, was a museum.
Right?
A museum, because obviously he's an artist and he ran the museum, stuff like that, and so on and so forth. There's different ones, and to defeat the beasts, I guess, or shadows in these palaces, you use personas, hence the name Persona. Persona 5. And each of the party members have their own persona. And then the special thing about the character that you play, I guess Ren, the character that you play, is that you can embody multiple personas. And there's many cool ones. And I wanted to ask you boys, what's your favorite one?
Go on, Tyler. You first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so background, because I think it's funny how I saw this one. I have enjoyed a lot of the personas I've been seeing recently, because I'm sort of in the level 40 range, and like I think the personas get a lot more interesting when you get like high leveled, and like you make more interesting personas because you can fuse them. That's like a core mechanic to the game, and like as a result you get like this even cooler persona, right? And then there's also a feature they introduced where you can summon personas. And I think it was because of the edition we bought. But when we got the version of the game, I didn't know this at the time, but for some reason they let you get like up to like level 76 personas for free. To just like, you can just buy them for free for the first time. And I didn't know that at the time, and I didn't understand. And I bought this one, and I think as of right now it's my favorite one. And I think it's cool. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's like Raul or Raul.
It does look very cool.
Yeah.
I do like that one. What about yourself, Harley?
All right. As I prefaced, I'm going to say, the games where you have loads of things and you collect them and choose them, and it's your favourite one or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a basic bitch. I like the first one.
Yeah.
Never really dabbled into the other ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Arsene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because the stuff of mixing them, matching them, which is a whole other mechanic of this game, and making stronger ones. It's not my thing. Doesn't interest me.
Fair.
He's one of those. My favorite Pokemon is Pikachu.
Pikachu. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I know. I know my favorite Pokemon.
It's fucking Charizard.
No, it's coughing.
Coffee. Oh, right. That's very funny.
That's, you know what? That's pretty fair.
But to be fair, Arsene does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it does look quite similar to Raul, but Raul just has cool wings and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I think strikes with me a lot with the design of this one. Is it is very reminiscent of Arsene, which I found interesting. But I guess a cool little neat fact about some of them, I don't know if it goes for all of them, but it's cool that a lot of these are personas, or like they're pretty much, if we have any anime fans, they're fucking stands from JoJo.
Yeah.
It's Bizarre Adventure. That is pretty much what they are. But it's really interesting and like kind of cool to see that a lot of the personas are based off of like folk tales or like stories.
That's cool.
And little characters. Like I found the Sandman. A few other ones. Like there's a lot of really cool like tie-ins and references. I mean, like Arsene is a thief, I believe.
Yeah.
Isn't it Lupin?
I forget.
Arsène Lupin?
Perhaps.
Maybe.
I will Google it. But
Google it.
I believe it is the famous gentleman thief, and that is why it's your...
It's cool. I like that kind of
Persona.
vibe to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like Captain Kidd, which is another persona, which is actually person Captain Kidd.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And there's...
The designs of these are quite cool, and it's cool how like from lower level to higher level they get cooler, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do enjoy that.
And that leads me to my favorite one, and I didn't meet this one in this game, but I met them in the original one.
Right.
And for the listeners, I asked the boys to memorize one of their favorite ones to just so we could talk about it. And my favorite one, and some Persona fans might recognize this one quite quickly. It's called Mara. And the reason why a lot of them would recognize is because they look like this. Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's what they look like.
Can
Yep.
we even put that on the fucking video?
I don't know if we can put that on a video. We'll figure that out.
Why?
That's your favorite persona?
I'll do some research.
Why does it look like...
But if I cannot put this on the video, just Google Mara Persona 5 or Mara Persona at MARA, and you'll know why we were not able to put it on video.
Picture,
if it is on video,
if you will, the xenomorph from Alien, but it's a dildo.
yeah, yeah. I saw this on my first playthrough of Persona 5, and I saw this. I was like, "This is fucking crazy! I cannot believe this is fucking Persona."
So your favourite one is
your favorite
because it
persona.
looks like a pee-pee.
Because it looks like
Yeah,
a pee
fucking
because it
child.
looks like a pee-pee.
Jesus
Because it looks like a pee-pee.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
that's
was
my
just going to
favorite
mention this. I did Google it, and it's Arsène Lupin is a fictional gentleman thief and master disguise.
There you go.
A master of disguise. Created in 1905 by French writer Maurice Leblanc,
Oh, LeBlanc, right?
which is the name of the cafe that you stay at in the game.
Oh my
There you
god,
go.
it's
I
come
thought
full
that was
circle. Oh my god.
I thought that was a
Full
cool...
connection.
All right, come on, man. I thought it was cool, man.
It is
alright?
cool.
What
It
did
is
say?
cool. I like things like that. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. We are it's past an hour. We might talk a little bit more, but you boys, I've been working on something in the background a little bit.
Have you?
I have.
I've heard some bits, but I don't know what it is. It's very
Right.
scary.
Could you say that you didn't see it coming?
Fuck's sake, man.
So,
We've reused that joke three
do-
times.
Yep.
What the
Right.
fuck?
What
Hello,
is this?
boys. Welcome
Hold
to
on.
Tom's Persona 5
Hold on a
Royal
fucking minute, I didn't agree
Big
to any of this.
Small Quiz.
Well, Harley's fucked.
It's very tiny. Hold on. So, here's how it works. This quiz will compare the original Persona 5 to Persona 5 Royal. It will be a true or false format, so 50-50 every time.
Yeah,
Only one
yeah.
person can pick each option. So, for example, if Tyler is first picking and he says true, Harley can only say false. He cannot say true as well.
Okay.
So there's always a point going round. And the winner will get £1 more on our first chillin' paycheck.
Okay.
Yay! Whenever that happens,
Right.
yay! So
Right.
there's stakes. There you go. So let us start the game.
Wow, you're so sick for that.
Thank you. But before we do that, we must choose someone to go first.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Oh. Yeah.
Who's best girl? Who's best girl?
Makoto.
Correct, Tyler. You go
Yeah,
first.
thanks.
You go.
Fuck.
Harley's just like, who the fuck is that? And probably 90% of the viewers are like, who is that? Don't worry, they're the best character.
They're the best character. She's the one that gets more involved with the group. That I was talking about. There you go. So here's the first prompt. We're gonna go easy first. There's only 5.
Right.
There's only 5. I didn't make it too long.
Okay.
So Tyler gonna go first, and Harley gonna follow.
Okay.
So this again comparing Persona 5 to Persona 5 Royal.
Okay.
Sojiro is a confidant. What I mean is, in the first game, Sojiro was a confidant, just like he also is in Persona 5 Royal. True or false?
True.
Okay. Harley, you're going with false. You're happy with that?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Also, I would appreciate if you guys showed some respect to what I did here. The guy on the right. Some respect, please.
Like way too much effort into this.
I did put so much effort into that. I really struggled. I couldn't find one that had just 2 responses, so I had to put a third one.
Pee pee poo poo. You
Yep.
got the font and everything.
I got the font. Yep.
All right.
Right, what's the answer?
The answer is true. He's still
Thank
a
you.
confidant. You can use him. When you use Sojiro as a confidant, he allows you to brew coffee, which gives you some SP during fights, or make curry, which also gives you some SP.
Wow.
Sick.
Yep. So second prompt, you could use the Showtime abilities.
Harley doesn't even know what that is.
Showtime abilities are when
I don't want to know.
Two-
I don't know. It's
fine.
false.
it's false.
Ah,
Okay.
then I have to say true.
You say it's true. But I'll give so Showtime abilities when 2 party members plan a special move in order to when you're fighting and you didn't defeat the character, they team up and they do a cool ass move. So you said
Pretty
false.
much an ultimate.
Yeah, it's an ultimate. Yes. You said false, Harley.
Yeah.
That is correct. It
Oh.
is false.
Oh.
This is not an ability that's in the original Persona 5. It was
Interesting.
Wow.
introduced in Royal.
It makes the game so much better. Then.
It makes it so much better. Third prompt. Igor and his dimension, quote unquote, were not a thing. Instead, you'd get your personas
False.
through Morgana before going to bed or by selecting your bed.
That is false.
False?
That
Interesting.
is
Okay.
false.
I'm going
There's
to
no
go with
way.
pee pee poo poo. I'm joking.
You're going with pee pee poo poo. Okay. Interesting. Tyler, you are correct. It is false. Igor and his dimension were always a thing.
I had a feeling that's
That'd be
false.
crazy
Yeah.
if that was
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I would be blown away.
Yeah, could you imagine? I was gonna say a whole thing of like, but because you said false right away, I was gonna say like because Morgana was such a hated character between the community, they just gave him
No
less things. That's what
That
I was
would
gonna
be
say.
so. That was so funny.
So it'll be funny though, right? But if there was another character to do it, it would have been Morgana.
right.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Right, fourth prompt. Jose, the kid from Momentous does not exist
In the first one.
True.
in the original.
I'm gonna say
true.
It's Harley this time.
I'm gonna say
Oh, it's
true.
Harley again?
I'm gonna say true.
True? And I
Yeah.
guess you're gonna go with false.
I guess so. This is a
that-
weird questionnaire mechanic.
I just feel like it will be silly if you could both say the same thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is true. Jose does not exist. He's just not a character
Right,
in
fair
Momentous.
enough. Okay.
And
Weird.
yeah, when you were playing Tyler and you were saying, "Oh, there's this Jose kid," I was like, "Oh yeah, Jose." I was like, "Who?"
That's funny.
I didn't remember. Like in my mind,
That's funny.
I didn't remember him. But yeah, he's just a kid that stays in Momentous and sells you things.
Yeah. He's like,
yeah.
what are you buying?
What are you buying? Yeah, if you
He's
collect flowers or whatever the fuck. And final
Next question.
final prompt. The star trait thing, the intelligence, kind,
False.
guts,
That's false. That's cap.
proficiency, and charm does not exist.
That's cap.
I'll preface. Hold on. I'll preface. When you were to do things like, for example, eat a burger, instead of giving you guts, it would give you 10 HP.
Ah.
That's cap. That's so
You're saying
cap.
that's false? False? Okay.
That's
okay.
so cap.
Holly,
That's crazy.
Which-
if that's
which-
true.
which one are you going with?
True.
Oh, you're not going with poo poo.
No.
It is false.
I was gonna say.
This was always a thing.
That would be crazy if that was always a thing.
What I will say is I don't know if this has changed in Royal,
Right.
or maybe I just haven't encountered it yet. But there will be a lot of times where I'll try and say something like to an NPC that was maybe tougher, like or was a bit scary, and they'll say, "Oh, you don't have enough guts to say that," and I'll be like, "What?" And I'll have like quite high guts, like I'll max that shit out. It's like, you don't have
Right.
guts to say this. So I don't know if they removed that or if I have more guts than I had before. I don't know. But well, congratulations, Tyler. You're gonna get £1 more.
Wow.
Let's go, guys. I'm getting
Yeah.
£1. That was so worth 20 minutes of the podcast.
Yep, not 30 minutes. It was like 5. it was like 7. No, it was like whatever it was. I just thought we'd do a fun little thing just because I have some knowledge of the original one, and
Fair.
yeah,
Interesting. Well,
yeah. There you go.
We learned some stuff.
There we go.
There's some stuff. Yeah. I didn't know. I really struggled with what prompts to add. But these were the ones I thought were silly and interesting.
Fair enough. Segueing,
yeah.
I kind of want to talk about the added, not added, the little bonus shit, I guess, with like the slice of life. There's like that skill tree stuff, right?
Yeah.
The star.
Yeah, the
one.
star, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about because I feel like it's just really random, but there's moments where I like it and where I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
fair.
the one thing I do really like in the
Yeah.
game. I like, but then don't like. But I like the
Go.
schools where you're going to lesson and it gives
Yeah.
you a question and then you have to answer it. And if you get it correct, you get intelligence points.
Yeah.
And then the thing I didn't realize because I'm going to admit something. I googled the fucking answers. I don't give a shit. I wanted the points.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, at the end of the term, like in school, you have a test of the questions. And I kind of, if I knew that previously, maybe I would have tried to attempt to try and remember them all. But I thought that was a cool idea for this kind of game, if it's the school stuff. And I kind of like that.
On guard. And I also liked, I really, really, really liked, right? This is where it really, like, took me with that whole school mechanic, is it actually did just teach me some really fun facts and cool information about characters, because again we were saying, right, that these characters were based, the personas are based off of characters and people that may have existed, sort of things like that. You know, you start the game and there's like this massive warning and it goes, warning, this game is not connected to anything in real life. If it shares relation to it, it is not related. I was like, okay, I guess that's why, because there's just so many fucking references to it. But like, I think, like, it was really fun to learn a few, like, facts. Like, I'll throw one out there. The Captain Kidd, as told from stories in the past, when he was a pirate, and when he was sent to be executed, he declared that he hid all of his treasure in one place.
Wait a minute.
And then he was executed, and those were his, like, sort of final words. And the game taught me that, and I'm like, that's very similar. and so I like Googled it and found out that that is something that actually happened. It's a genuine fact,
cool.
and it's probably Gold Roger, the king of the pirates from One Piece. I've mentioned it like 7 times in this episode, but that's what that was based off of. I can only assume based on the parameters of, like, you know, getting executed and then going, you want my treasure? You can have it. You know, that speech, very reminiscent. But it was really cool, and I learned so many fun facts. And the game just kind of tosses you some, like when you brew coffee in the game. The game throws you a few fun facts about coffee. There's like a
curry.
Yeah, with curry. There was it wasn't a word search. What was it? Crossword. Yeah, there's like crossword puzzles that you can do as well. So that was fun.
And I enjoyed it because I actually got it. I didn't cheat. I genuinely got the word and I felt very intelligent.
I did too, and then they never appeared again.
Yeah.
But there is more. I just don't know why they're not showing up.
I will be honest with the school stuff. I always fast forward because I'm like, I personally I do think it's cool that you can learn stuff.
Yeah,
but personally, I'm not that for it.
Same. Same in a way.
Fast forward,
like,
and I always use the network button.
What the fuck's the network button?
So teaching you more things you missed out, Harley. So if you press the network button, it shows you the answer, it doesn't show you the answer, right? It shows you the list of answers, and then it shows you what everyone else picked.
Yeah.
So the one that's like normally 92% of players that pick this one, it's probably the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know how when you like load up the game and says, "Oh, connect to the network" or whatever the fuck. It's basically connecting you to every single person that's ever played the game.
Yeah.
And this is actually also a cool mechanic, I think, where not only can you get, for example, the answers to those questions, not in the exams actually, you don't get that.
Yeah, no,
but,
not on the exams. Yeah.
but just like in regular lessons, you can press network button and it shows, you know, who answered what, the percentage of people who answered what, and you get the right answer from that. But just from day to day, because like there's so many things you can do each day, like interact with people, go do work, go study, read, whatever.
Yeah.
You can press the network button and it shows what the percentage of people that did of what they did. And if you're a bit lost or don't know what to do, you can see what the people did the most, and maybe that's helpful.
Yeah.
But if not, you can just do whatever the fuck you want,
So
obviously.
it's almost like a checkup. You can basically get to see what other players did in that day,
Yeah.
pretty much. So
what they're up to.
it's like a nice helping hand
Yeah.
if you do want it.
Also, next follow-up question: what the fuck does the star benefit? What does
The star?
What does it actually give you?
What do you mean?
What does it?
So
Why does it exist?
so
Because I
example,
don't feel I understood why
Right.
it's there.
So it's a way, just like for example, in let's use Pokemon for example. It's like you use Pokemon to level up, like so you can pass through a threshold or whatever. Maybe that's not the best comparison, but no. But for example, with On, if you want to be a confidant with her, you have to have the second level of kindness.
Okay.
So if you level up kindness, you can interact with her and level her, like your confidence level with her, and like very early on, you get this guy that owns like a gun shop or like an airsoft shop, which I think this is a very good way to get you to think about the star system. And you need to get a dauntless level of guts, right? And you think, oh, maybe dauntless is just the next level. No, it takes fucking ages to get there. Like it's quite long to do that. But then that's how you get confident with him, for example. There's stuff with every single trait. Yeah, if you just level that up, you can do a bunch of things, and
it's really cool.
Yeah, for example, the way most people level up guts, for example, is going to eat the big bang bug or whatever.
Right.
And when you reach a certain level of guts, instead of eating only half of the burger, you can eat the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like a big
Yeah.
You know how like those challenges are? It's like, can you eat this massive pizza? If you do, you get it for free.
Yeah.
You know those? It's like that, and that's a good way that you can go and like level up your guts. And I think it's really cool system in general because it's a nice thing. It's what I would argue is what you work on during the day when you're not like a phantom thief. Like that's the core gameplay thing of like not being a phantom thief, because it's like it opens up ways for you to do things like, oh, if I had more guts, I can talk to this person. Maybe if I was more kind, I can do this.
Yeah.
Or if you're in class, for example, when you're slacking off, there's a teacher that throws a fucking pen at you, and it's like if you had more proficiency, you can dodge that pen, and everyone's like, holy shit, that guy's badass, and then it gives you like charm.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like cool benefits that knock off from you studying, making coffee. That's where it, you know, the actions in the day actually take effect, because those actions you're doing in the day they're contributing to the star, and they're contributing to your attributes and how that's going to help you in your daily life.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Right.
Well, I think we are coming to an end here.
Yes.
So, I wanted to ask. Obviously, this is one of the first games that like we're like the furthest from completing, I guess. Just overall, do you guys feel like you will finish the game?
I'll go first. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best, and I do want to finish this game because I really enjoy the story. the gameplay grew on me a lot when I was playing it. I love the cast of characters. The soundtrack pops off. You know, I've given this review before, but ultimately, I do want to try and see what the story is about and what, you know, experience Persona 5, because it is just a game that is so popular and is loved by so many, and I want to have that. It would be nice to have that experience under my belt and be like, yeah, I played Persona 5. That's also a nice bonus. And it is just an enjoyable game for me personally, and I will try my best to complete it. I think it's quite a cool achievement, and an experience.
What about yourself, Harley?
For me, it's a tricky one because, as I said at the way beginning, this game is difficult for me to enjoy gameplay wise, but the story I'm very invested in. So I'm like, I would also like the thing, like Tyler said, of having under your repertoire going, I played all of this game, right? But yeah, I feel like if I do, I am going to struggle with it again. There's a part of me that I don't want to say I'm not going to play it again. I would maybe attempt it, but then I don't know when. Maybe if I find more time or something, or more of an understanding of it, maybe. Yeah. But at the moment in time, I don't feel like I would at the moment. The thing is, if I am going to watch the anime, but I feel like I may miss out on stuff, like character stuff in the anime. Like if the anime just did Persona 5 and not Persona 4 Royale, which I think is the case. So there is a driving point for me to play Royale to discover those new things. So maybe that's the driving force, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you watch that, I reckon you'll get motivated more, maybe. I think.
Yeah. It's also a thing as well, like Royale or just Persona 5, the game in general, I think by day to day, yes, it is going through day by day, but you get to hang out with these characters every day, pretty much. And what that means is you're learning so much about their character, and there's really cool moments, which I don't think the anime will cover. Yeah. I haven't watched it, but I know that it's not that many episodes, so
I think it's the fact.
I don't think there'll be moments where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with Anne, and then you find out stuff about Anne. I don't think that's how that would work. So I think you would get more out of the characters.
I guess so. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, maybe next month we'll see if I've watched it and we can have a little segment on it real quick.
And we'll see if I beat it. Guys, that's my homework.
That's your hope.
Yeah, the answer is maybe. Not immediately.
Right. I think that's valid.
Maybe.
I'll take that.
And maybe I just need to find some sort of found.
You need to get in your groove.
Yeah, the groove of these types of games, because I do want to play lots of these games, because a lot of people say these games are like the same similar style games of like being turn-based or whatever, like older games and stuff have really good stories. But to get through that story, you need to play the game. So I need to just keep training myself and maybe finding, harking back to that Hideo Kojima stuff, going, it's good to pick up these things and drop them if they're not liking, and then find the golden ones that you enjoy. And, and I think that's the take of this for me at the moment.
That's fair. For me, I think I will finish the game. Obviously, I know the story, or like overarching, but I don't know if it finishes the same way. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. So that's what I want to find out. I want to find out if it's the same. I don't think it will because of certain characters. I want to know what's different. Because when I was told that Persona 5 Royal was this completely different game from Persona 5, I was like, okay, buddy, well, different game. And then I played the first Palace. I was like, this is basically all the same. But yeah, it's getting more and more different as it goes. Not only gameplay wise, but also with story stuff. There's moments that I'm like, I don't remember this happening in the original. I was like, because it didn't. And so it is quite interesting in that sense.
I do want to mention just a few things. I'll keep this short. But a few honourable mentions, I guess, just hearing from what you guys have been talking about. It's also interesting to mention that I found this out recently. I mean, it's probably common knowledge, but Persona 5 Royale or Royal, whatever, has a sequel called Persona 5 Strikers.
Oh, that's where
And
you're
Persona,
wrong. It's the sequel to the original, not Royal.
but everyone is saying that you should play Royal and
What?
then play the sequel.
Then maybe I'm wrong. What?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tyler. I'm always right.
Because I was looking at the reviews today on Steam because I was like, what's this about? And everyone was like, if you really enjoyed Royal, play this.
What's the difference? What?
And let me explain the difference is that it's not turn-based and it's hack and slash.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't we play that one?
Because we're going to play this one first.
Fuck.
It's a sequel.
Where is
But
it?
yeah.
Hold on.
I'm curious
We're
to
redoing
play
the
it. I
review.
think I might play that.
Hold on.
But yeah, I think I might play that one at some point.
Yeah,
'cause I
hold
think
wait.
the
What
points
the
you
fu-
brought up are quite interesting, and I was
What?
like, maybe I should check it out and
What?
see if it's good. Because people, the reviews on Steam, overwhelmingly positive.
I was made to play this fucking turn, and there was just this. Fuck! Fuck!
And also to mention the Persona creators, like
What?
Atlas Games,
Oh,
are
I
making.
thought you were saying another game's Persona creator. I was like, what the? There's another one.
There is Persona 5. I don't think it's good, but Persona 5 Tacticia.
Right.
I don't know.
How many
Yeah,
versions
yeah,
of this game
they're
does there
like-
need to be?
And there's Persona 5X, which
What?
is a mobile
Why?
game, which
How
has
many-
a crossover with Persona 5.
Holly, you need to understand. This is Atlas's like fucking magnum opus. They're
Right.
Yeah.
milking the shit out of it.
Literally.
Is this like
this
their most
game
popular
is-
game? This is
Uh,
they're like we
yeah.
haven't got any ideas. Let's just release the game but a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
here's the
but-
thing. The developers are also working on a new game, which is a like different take. It's stepping away from the Persona
Right.
like games,
The world,
and it's called Metaphor
right?
Refantasio, and that's coming out.
Okay.
That's a game in production. I thought it was worth mentioning. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Is it going to
It's
be
like
turn-based again?
It's I think it is.
I'll wait till the Strikers version comes out.
I don't think it is turn based.
Oh, never mind.
I think I saw gameplay. I don't think it is turn based, but it has it's very like you can get the Persona vibes from it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it does ooze and emanate like the same way that like all the smooth level transitions and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the way that the menus work is very Persona. Like you can definitely tell it's an Atlas game.
Yeah.
But it was like a fantasy like JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. So I thought I'd mention that. But yeah, that's the things I wanted to bring up because I thought, as Harley was saying, he's struggling with the turn-based action. Persona 5 Strikers is a game that exists.
We'll consider it. We'll
Yeah.
see.
So to wrap things up, do you think this game is worth
Yes,
playing and the money and
How
stuff?
much?
yes. The game is £50.
Oh, I mean,
This
I will,
game is
I was
101
gonna say-
hours long.
Yeah, I was gonna say yes, regardless, because it's fucking. There's
Yeah.
loads of content to consume in this game.
Yeah,
And if you like these types of games, yeah, go
yeah.
for it.
And the story is amazing.
Yeah.
We've said it all before. I think it's definitely worth the price. But here's an also great fact: these games are on sale quite often. So
Yeah.
you're not even gonna get it at £50. It's on sale right now. Like
Is it?
Literally, it's always on sale.
Wow.
I will say with any game, if you're not desperate to buy it, just wait for it to be
For
on
a
sale. It's
sale,
always
yeah.
more worth it.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it's with
Unless you,
anything, really,
like-
isn't it?
yeah, it's like if you're not desperate to
Yeah.
to get it, it's like
And this game goes on sale quite often.
Fair.
So if it's there, pick it up.
but even the original price tag, I do think is worth because again you get so much out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Not only the hours, but the content itself within those hours.
Yeah.
If you can, again, the first palace can be quite tough to get through sometimes, but just give it a shot. So let's do our rankings,
Yes.
our rating. I am going to give it. What did I give Hades? I gave Hades a 9.5. I'm going to give this one an 8.5.
Okay.
Harley, you go. You know
I'll
what?
go. Okay.
You go.
I think
You're rating.
the current moment in time of the game I've played and what I've said, at the moment, it's a 6.5 for me.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. I was expecting lower.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I
the thing that's made it that score is the story for me. That's why it's that.
Right.
I'm not sure if I would go lower than a 5 if the story wasn't as good, but the story is what saved it for me.
So this game is 0.5 better than Five Nights at Freddy's. Interesting.
Yeah.
For me, I think I've said this every time, but I have struggled with rating this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's such a I've had ups and downs, and I've had like bad experiences and then really good experiences, but I think I will give it as where I am at currently in this game, I'll give it an 8.
Fair. So that averages out at 8, right? Overall?
I believe so.
8.5, 7.5. No, it's
6.5.
6.5. Oh my god, let me do the maths real quick. Let's round that down to 7.5.
Okay, there we go.
7.5.
7.5. It's technically 7.6666, but 7.5.
Okay.
As I said.
There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
7.5. That's the percent of 5 royal rating from
Boom.
Chillin. Now, without any further ado, Harley, what's our next game for next month?
What the fuck is our next game?
Our next game is gonna be. Get ready for it. We're gonna be playing some Elden Ring. Here we go.
Oh shit!
Yep. We're going into our first From Software game. I'm going to force you guys to play it.
Time to suffer. The time to suffer is now. The gates of hell have opened, and they're gonna swallow us whole.
So this is how you put revenge, eh?
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I mean,
So,
it's not too bad, but we'll see. We'll find out next month, shall we?
I'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out, ladies and
But
gentlemen.
I'm excited. I've been wanting to replay this game, but I'll talk about more when we get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you
Sick.
go. Elden Ring.
What?
But before we end,
Oh.
I told Tom,
Huh.
I said I was going to set you some homework.
Oh.
My biggest question mark about you, Tom, is that you're not a huge advocate for anime, right?
Yes.
Right.
And whilst playing this fucking game and knowing your enjoyment of it, I do not understand how you don't give it a go. Okay?
I don't get it. I don't get it either.
So
hear us out, guys. He's a fan of Avatar, The Last Airbender, right? And Persona 5.
You like animated
and
shows.
he doesn't enjoy anime.
Yeah.
You like animated shows.
Yeah.
I feel like from this point on, you need to break the ice. I feel like you need to tip your toes into some of them. Okay? I don't know about you, Tyler. I'm trying to think of what I mean, we spoke about giving One Piece a go. I think that's too big, right? At the moment,
We can't give him One
force
Piece.
him
He's
One
not
Piece.
ready
Exactly. We need to ease you in.
Help, guys.
But I'm thinking
We need him a short. We need him a short
a
one.
short one. There are loads, but like, there's one I do want to give him a go because I think he will personally enjoy it because it's stupid, and the similarities between this game.
I know what you're gonna say.
There's no way.
I think.
I know what you're gonna say.
I think you should give JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a little go. Genuinely.
Really?
Yeah, because
You want to give him JoJo?
because if he enjoys it and gets to part 4, I think he's gonna fucking love it.
Let's give him part 1.
Okay.
As a homework assignment for next episode.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
I'll
ease
do
you
that.
into better stuff, or like I won't say better, but like we'll ease you into other stuff as well. Maybe as the show goes on.
Yeah, but
and give you more homework.
But I think because I picked this is because there's similarities between Persona and I think if you get to part 4, you're going to enjoy it so much because if you like that kind of stuff, I think.
Guys, find out if I enjoyed JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in next month's podcast, where we'll be discussing the Elden Ring game. Please, if you enjoyed, comment, like, subscribe. Please do the notification bell thingamajig, and share with friends if you think they would like. Without further ado, we've been chilling, and we gotta chill out.
Fucking hell.
Bye
Bye.
Let's fucking go. Bye bye.
Bye.
I actually waved.
I did too.